You know when you take a cast off your leg, when you've had a leg cast on your leg for months or on your arm, and you take it off, and what that smells like, that's what this smells like just a weird, uh, indistinguishable smell, like sweat and bandages. Weird, awful smell. You know, you know what formaldehyde smells like? Like nothing else in the world smells like it, right? Well, when you take a cast off a leg that's been on there for months, there's nothing else like that smell, right? And that's exactly what that smells like when I take that bandage off. It smells like a cast, a stinky cast that's been on someone's leg for months. I'm just getting up, less than 4 hours of sleep. I fell asleep after 8 o'clock in the morning, and the night was literal torture. I'm uncomfortable in so many ways and in pain and in distress, and I can't fall asleep because I'm in so much pain. And I'm trying to keep my airway up like this, and I got this mouthpiece in my mouth that hurts so bad, and I tried trigeminal nerves, and then neuropathy, and I can't feel my hands all night. And it's not just I can't feel my hands, it's nerves are being compressed and your body is in distress because, something's being cut off. Your nerves are being compressed, circulation's being cut off, and your brain is in distress because part of your body's in distress. People can think, oh, well, it's just neuropathy, it's just numbness. No, your nerves are being compressed and your body is in distress because there's nerves being pressed and the nerve function is cut off. I'm so sleep deprived, my God. I've got so much business that couldn't do last week that I have to do this week. And I can't do it because I'm so tired. Business from last week that I couldn't do last week or the week before or the week before because I'm too tired. And there's no I I'm too tired to do any of it. This is important stuff, like follow-up emails and phone calls and medical appointments coming up, and I just can't do it. Too tired. What a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. It looks like spring, and that's hard. Gosh, that's hard. Spring is coming. And what I learned the past, few years, spring comes, and it's heartbreaking because I can't get around and do things, all the spring things and the things you want to do, spring cleaning and fixing up your home and getting gardening supplies and getting topsoil and potting soil and potting plants, and I can't do any of it. Don't have a car, not working. Spring comes and I don't know how to do this. I need someone to talk to I need someone to talk to every day. And, I need someone to help me troubleshoot medical stuff. There's no one to talk to. There's someone I bump into occasionally. They just run when I start to talk about any of this. They just run when I start to talk about how sick I am or how the night was. And it reminds me exactly like my mom. I remember so clearly, my mom at this age and how much how much pain she was in and how much she complained. And I realize now she had neuropathy and she was being misdiagnosed. She was being misdiagnosed for 30 years, her neuropathy. And how she would complain. And I don't say this in a bad way because I had a lot of empathy for it. And I listened to her 365 days a year complain. And I thought it was my job. And I thought that's what you do. You listen to people. They need to talk. They're hurting. They're in pain. They're scared. And you listen. And she would call here every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day, not always to complain, just to say hi and check in and talk. But my sisters had her trained 30 years ago. They had her trained already. Don't call here and complain. They don't want to hear about it. They're trying to train her. Just stop. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. And she would cry. She would call and complain to me. They don't want to talk to her. They don't want to. They had trained her, right? They set up boundaries. Don't call her if you're going to complain. Don't. And if she started to, they would cut her off. And I have mixed feelings about that, We can go through life thinking the entire world revolves around us. We can go through life the complete opposite and give until it's give to so many people and give so much of ourselves that it's killing us and it's eating us alive. And, we're mentally falling apart because we're giving so much to, we're hurting and feeling everybody else's feelings. And as an empath, you're being eaten alive because no one ever taught you how to control your empathy. But then you can also go through life just totally self-centered and the world revolves around you and you don't want to hear people complain. You only want the best part of people. You don't want to hear from people when they're in trouble or sick or I have mixed feelings about that. Like selfishness and no empathy can be disguised as I have boundaries, right? And I listened to my mom complain 365 days a year for decades. And I never ever said, look, I don't want to hear it, call someone else. I genuinely, and there was never a time I didn't believe her that she was in pain. And one of my friends used to say, like there's something wrong. There's something wrong with your mom. Like and she wasn't saying this in a derogatory way either. She said, there is something wrong with the level of pain that she's in and how much she's complaining. And why isn't she getting relief? And because her mom had rheumatoid arthritis, really crippled up rheumatoid arthritis, but her mom was getting relief. And my mom was being told that she had arthritis and fibromyalgia. And honestly, I don't know what I think my mom had significant neuropathy and was always misdiagnosed. And when I say that, I don't know if people with rheumatoid arthritis are getting treatment to the point where they're not in pain anymore. I don't know how if that is a fair statement. But I had this realization the other day. A friend of mine sent me this oral device to see from Amazon to see if it would work. It didn't work. It's not the right thing for me. But she has one exactly like it, and she wears it at night. She has no pain. I put this thing in, and I'm in immediate pain. And I really wanted to give it a good go to try to sleep with it in, because, she sent this thing to me out of the goodness of her heart, and I really wanted to give it a try. And the pain was just unspeakable. And what I came to realize, and this never occurred to me, is that maybe some people feel pain at a much worse level. The mouthpiece that I sleep with every night, I've been wearing it for about a month right now. I put that in, and the pain is unbearable. The pain, it is insanity, and I'm trying to sleep. I put this thing in, I'm in so much pain, and then I'm trying to make my mind fall asleep. And that alone is crazy. And it has never, I remember when I had braces on my teeth for 2 years when I was 25 years old. I was in so much pain. I was half out of my mind during those 2 years. I was taking Tylenol around the clock. Nothing even came near the pain. And it never occurred to me until right now that maybe some people experience pain much worse. And I have a high tolerance for pain and discomfort. But, and I've got all these things going on, and I've got no treatment. Took me years to realize that too. All these people I talk to all the time with all these medical conditions that I have, they've all got some treatment to go to sleep, treatment for pain relief. I wore CPAP for 7 years, excruciating pain the whole 7 years. CPAP never helped me sleep. I'm talking, and on a regular basis, I'm talking to people. Oh, I sleep so good now that I have CPAP. Like, no relief. And no one to talk to. Well, I have one friend. She's quite sick too, and we worry about each other. But I wish she was here. Like, no one here to talk to. Or no family, right? No one that loves you, that is listening, right? From day to day to see how you're doing, checking in on you. This is just unbearable. The night was unbearable. Living like this is just, it's not doable. And yet I really like being alive. I wake up, I see the sun, I'm excited about the sun. I'm excited to get outside. It'll take me hours to get dressed. I'm so exhausted. I really like being alive. But what I'm living with day to day is just intolerable. The nights are literal torture. And no relief from anything.